Lord, we praise you for your greatness, for your love. You're always being there for us no matter what. Lord, forgive us for the times we turn our backs and fail to acknowledge you working in our lives. You're always so faithful to keep reminding us of your power and love toward us. Lord, 75 years ago, you brought into this world a very special baby. She grew up to be a beautiful woman, full of love and devotion to her family. She has touched many lives over the years and blessed many with her actions. She's been a faithful servant of yours, never questioning or too busy to do what was ever needed in your name. Thank you, Lord, for letting Barbara, Johnny, Jerry, and I be born into this loving family where we could always be ourselves without worrying about pressures to be what we're not. Lord, thank you for giving me a mom who's always been there, always willing to listen to me, no matter how busy she might have been. A woman to show unconditional love for her spouse, family members, and friends. Thank you for bringing us all together today to share in the 75th birthday celebration with Mama. We pray it will be filled with lots of loving, wonderful memories. And now we ask you to bless this food and to help us to serve you in the days ahead. In Jesus' name, amen.
I like it. Did you get one?
Sleeves just gonna get all of it.
That's a problem.
Well, I saw that Jason was coming out there very late.
had
These are rolls.
Yeah, no, don't tell him that. Well, I have everybody's attention. Youth is a gift of life, and age is a work of art. For Mama, there have been 75 years of composition. In the year that Mama was born, in 1920, women gained the right to vote. The decade started with a new look, a minimum of clothes and a maximum of cosmetics. The flapper look was in. The United States was officially dry in 1920. The prohibition was in effect. And Woodrow Wilson was the president. And some other stars were born that year. Tony Randall and Mickey Rooney and Peggy Lee and Lana Turner. All those other stars were born that same year. These were the days before television and polio shots and antibiotics and frisbees, before frozen food and nylon and Dacron and fluorescent lighting and credit cards, or Mama, and ballpoint pens. They didn't have any of these things. This was long before computers, when a chip was a piece of wood, and when hardware was hardware, and when software wasn't even a word. In those days, bunnies were rabbits, or small rabbits, and rabbits were not Volkswagens. When Mama was growing up, almost no one flew across the country, and transatlantic flight was only for Lindbergh and Amelia Earhart. Mama was a teenager before pantyhose and drip-dry clothes, before freezers or dishwashers or clothes dryers or electric blankets, before men wore long hair and earrings. In her day, grass was something that was mowed, and color was something to drink, and pot was something you cooked in. They got married first and then lived together. She and Daddy were married in the days when you could go to a 5 and 10 cent store and buy something for 5 or 10 cents. With a nickel, you could buy enough stamps to mail a letter or and 2 postcards. And a Chevrolet cost $700 back in those days, but who could afford a Chevrolet? Hardly anyone. And it's real pity because gasoline was only 20 cents a gallon then. The times have really changed. But to me, Mama has not changed. She's still that work of art that is my mother. And the composition just doesn't change much. When I was little and in elementary school, she would come to school to bring cookies for a class party. And I always thought she was so pretty. And I was always proud that she was my mother. And that hasn't changed. And this is crazy. I'm not going to do this. I'm still proud of her, and still think she's pretty. As we were growing up, she would always working to make our lives easier or more fun or happier. And one of my fondest memories is of her coming to wake us up in the morning when we were to go to school. And that's a fond memory now when I get myself up before dawn with the alarm clock. And she would come in with a cheery voice, call us and say, it's time to get up, go to school, what do you want for breakfast? And she'd stand in the hall there between Jerry and Johnny's room and mine. Deborah was still asleep, she was too little to go to school. And she would take our breakfast orders. And all we had to do was get up and get ourselves dressed and stumble into the kitchen. And there was a hot meal set ready for us. Sometimes it was 3 different ones. Another fond memory that I have of her is no matter what she was doing, when I was coming home from school or from work, she'd always call out, "Hi, dearie." I can just hear her saying that. She was always in a good mood. She just hardly ever seemed to be in a bad mood. And that's still the same. When I call her, she's always interested in what I have to say, and she's always up. It's a boost in my spirit when I call Mama on the phone. because she always seems cheery and happy. And I'm losing my place. As I said, she's always interested in what's going on in my life. And at 52 years old, I still think of calling her when something good happens to me. That's the first thing I think of, call my mother and tell her, because I know she'll be happy. Or if the opposite happens and I'm having a crisis in my life, I still think of calling my mother. I guess I think she'll understand, or maybe she'll tell me what to do. But she always comes to my mind first to call her, because I enjoy talking to her. When I was a teenager, I always felt like she was a friend as well as my mother. And we enjoyed doing things together, going shopping, or just talking, or making something together. And now, even more, I see her as my friend. I always enjoy being with her, and I just feel very lucky that she's my mother. I'm so glad that you could all come today to help us wish her a happy 75th birthday. And I was hoping, as we are here, some thoughts of yours will come to mind of things that you know about Mother. Many of you have known her as long as I have, and many of you have known her even longer than I have. And I was hoping you might think of something you could share with us about how you met, or something funny that might have happened. If you know anything, like her smoking cigars and throwing squids over the bridge. Anything that you could think of today as we celebrate this artistic composition.
Oh, gracious.
She's a dear sister-in-law to me, always have been. And I've always looked forward to Marjorie and Earl coming to see us. And my children thought as much of Marjorie now as it did me. And they only knew Marjorie was her aunt. And my sister was Rebecca's aunt. Okay. But they all love Marjorie too. And we love our parents too. And we all have had a good time together with our family. And I wouldn't take anything for it.
I want to say a little something. I met my husband with Marjorie, and let's do lunch. We had a Model A touring car where you had to put the curtains up. And we went down to, rode with them down to visit the Machetes one day. And we ate and I got to talking. He lived right beside the Machetes, Ringo. And so when Mr. Lutz was insistent we all get in the car, I remember standing back a minute, say like they got AC. And as we went on up the road, Margie and I looked back, and there was AC just coming all the way up the road. Margie said, "And you ever gonna stop and go back home?" But I remember it some way.
You don't remember that?
No.
One of the things
Fergus was living right beside.
Yeah, I remember that, and I remember us playing together and all that, but I don't remember doing this.
Marjorie lived across the road, or we lived across the road from her, but she was at first for a long time. And when my sister got married, which was, how many years ago, yesterday, probably 4, must be, because Jim was 6 months old. Marjorie bathed him and dressed him, and I forgot to polish his white shoes. So Marjorie polished his shoes and brought him over there after the wedding was over.
My friendship goes back to Marjorie for, I just said you figure, I think it's 61 years. When I moved up across the church from, I moved up there across from Kentucky Church, I started going to Sunday school, and I met Marjorie and Marjorie back in the fall of 1934. So we've shared a lot of things, a lot of water going over the dam. And so we three have been friends for 61 years now, so I think that's a real good record.
Well, I think mine goes back about 40 years, Marjorie, when we went to work at Paul Hammond's?
Yeah, it was Herman's.
It was L. Herman, so you know how that dates us right. But anyway, we worked right in the same department, and she was always such a pleasure to work with. And Barbara Gale and my daughter Judy met then. They was 11 years old, and we would give them $1 on Saturday, and they'd come to church, and they could shop all day long for that $1. And I don't know what they bought, but they really had a good time. And our friendship has held on through the years, and Judy still thinks the world of Barbara. And I still love little Jerry, because I remember when he had his little misfortune, we went to Richmond to see him that day. And he's a fine young man today, and I'm proud of him.
Good.
Don't teach well at
I would just like to say a word. Jason and I, when we first moved to Danville, we met Marjorie and Earl there at the church. And Jerry was just a little boy. I guess I was about 3. And I remember in Sunday school, she'd sit there and she'd have Jerry on her knee or lap. And but then later on down the road, I was sick in Greensboro, and the doctor thought that someone needed to take care of our daughter, Rebecca. And Jesse, and I was sick, and so Jesse said that he didn't know of anybody he would trust as much as he was Marjorie. And so she's been a dear friend all these years. Thank you, Marjorie.
I want to say something too, because I remember Rebecca coming to the house and being with us, and I loved it because she's my little baby. I don't know, how old was she then? Probably about
6
2,
weeks.
3. Was she that little?
She was about 3 months, or
Yeah.
2 months
She
maybe.
really was a baby. I didn't remember. I remember her being there though, and I remember thinking it was just the neatest thing to have a little baby, somebody littler than I was. So I was always, but Mama has always been there for me too. And when Barbara was talking about how she can always call her up, it's the same thing with me. Whenever I call her up, she is always upbeat. She's always, "Hi, how you doing? What's going on?" That kind of thing, you know. And I could be, yeah, I could just tell in her voice, you know, how she's been doing. I mean, she's always just so up. Even when she's down, she's up. she's down too.
That's right. Daddy called me this week about it.
Yeah. But one other thing too was that I could always talk to her about anything, and I think I am so thankful that God gave me a mama like her, because I know I have so many friends that don't feel that way about their mom, that they can go and talk to their mom about anything, and that's just something that I think is so important, you know, in our relationship. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for being a little girl. Little girls, baby.
I'm not as fortunate as some of you, because I didn't grow up in the community, and I didn't get to know Margie back when she was close to my age and we would have been kids together. But she has been a good friend and a good neighbor, and we have enjoyed watching the children grow up and the grandchildren come along. And the last few years, we have really had a ball walking together. It's surprising the things we see, and we weren't going to tell anybody about those cigars. But she's a special person, and it's so gratifying to see the children realize that and pay tribute to her today and give us an opportunity to do that too. And I thank you for giving me an opportunity to come today, because it's been great.
Well, I thank all of you for coming today. It has just been something I never dreamed of what it would happen. But it's just really nice. And everyone, I can look in your faces and just remember so many things about you and what you mean to me and our family. Because all of you are sort of interwoven, you know, in our family. It just means so much to all of us. So thank you for coming and making this the most special day of my life.
Well, I'd like to say that I've known her since Hal and I've married, and she and Hal really almost kin.
Yeah.
He always called her Mom and Dad. I'm Bernie's name, Mary, and our kids kind of grew up together, and we used to do a lot of camping. We really enjoyed that. I remember Deborah, we just had to get all over her for going swimming and getting her back all burned. But we had good days back then going
Remember us going
camping.
camping together?
That's what I say, we still go camping every year. We enjoyed that. And at one time, she was my boss when she was the cafeteria manager. Didn't seem like a boss, but yes, she was. And I just feel like I've known Marge all my life almost. We go to church together. Yeah. And I got one thing, I reckon it's all right to tell. I don't think it'll embarrass you, it's real funny. One time years ago, when Jim, what was his name? Used to be a WBTM or DBA, which was it?
Oh.
Crawford. Yeah. One April Fool's Day, he was on the radio and he said, "Oh, I have an announcement from the telephone company. I want to warn everybody," said, "they're gonna blow out the lines this morning. And everybody please tie something over into your phone so the dial tone will not run out and run in the floor. If your pets should look it up, it might kill them." Well, Marjorie covered up in her phone. And she told me, it was so funny, she had to tell it on herself. I would too if I did that. We thought that was the funniest thing.
Show the end of it. All day until Earl came home from work.
How did you know that?
I thought my mother was pretty smart.
Dogs, we used that same April Fool joke last year, and a couple of my friends thought I was telling the truth too. And I mean, it was really funny because I told them we even sat next to the teachers at school for Dad's class, in Winston's class about, and they got, I mean, that was really funny. Some of them believed it, but some of them knew it was April Fool's.
But if you had heard Jim,
Yes,
say
Crawford,
you
that's
were,
so serious.
I know, he sounded so
so
serious.
serious. you know.
Somebody called in and a cat had licked up a dial. And I didn't want that to happen. It's really sad.
It's like a microwave, I was having little microbes keep crawling out.
And let me tell you something else about Mary and Jesse. When the jury and them were little, you know, that we told them about our trip to Canada that we camped as we went on up there, and we had such a good time. We were gone about 6 weeks that time. And so Jesse said, "Well, I just hope we can do that sometime. As soon as Keith gets a little bit older, well, first thing you know, he came on Calvin." So then Della came on, I believe, and Steve. And every time we get ready to go on a camping trip and have another baby, we never wanted to go to Calvin. So we still haven't gone. Now we're too old.
Now it's safe now.
Well, I would like to say that my friendship started with Marjorie 25 years ago when my daughter, Little Sue, married into a wonderful family. And I have really grown to love the whole family. It's precious. She couldn't have picked a better family.
But Johnny couldn't have picked a better wife or in-laws, because he came home from over there one day when Sue and Johnny were dating, and he had spent the night, and he said, "Mama, you know, Louise fixes oysters boiled in oil." I know, and he didn't know what deep fat fried oysters. She boiled them in oil. Yeah, and he says they're so good.
Well, I just want to take this opportunity to say that I handpicked her. I really liked Johnny, but after I met her, that still
You don't have to put the ice in them.
I was getting desperate. I was 24 years old. And in my day, that was old to get married. She is probably the most unique lady I think I've ever met. And she looks for the uniqueness in everybody. She never looks at their faults. be better than having two mamas, I mean, really. She is, truly. She's a very special lady, and I could say a lot of flowery things about her, but I tried today to give the feeling of not of history of her, but rather to capture her spirit and the morals that she has, and her manners, and her hopes, and her dreams. And I love you.
I love you too, and you really decorated beautifully. I tell you, these came out of Sue's garden, all these flowers she fixed them with. It's so pretty. I'm sorry.
Take y'all.
And I second that. You can't talk yet, so.
She's stable over here.
They like to talk.
Just rename the Marcia Clark.
You see, she's tired, don't you? You don't tell Marcia.
I didn't know Marion was
No, I was
learning a lot.
As the other daughter-in-law, I want to second what Sue just said. There couldn't be a better mother-in-law in the world. You know, you have to be nice to young kids, but you don't have to take these other folks in the way she does. She has been a real second mother from the moment that I joined the family. And we've had just wonderful memories, wonderful things that happen. And some of the wonderful ones are the celebrations that she puts on. I'll tell you, I've never seen anybody who can get into a kitchen, put out a meal for 25 people, while I would still be making out the menu, and entertain half of them in the kitchen while she's doing it.
Never get puzzled.
What's the difference? Don't
It
have
never
any.
gets lost. I mean, she's just having fun doing it. And she fixes everybody in the family a special birthday celebration where
Unless it's two, like you and Sue coming to say y'all always celebrate together.
We don't.
well, you know, but she fixes with your special food, what you like the best, even down to the dessert. If you like banana pudding better than a birthday cake, that's what you get for your birthday. And she just thinks of everybody so individually and has done so many wonderful things, you know, from taking care of our children to just all sorts of things. But I tell you, there was one time I wondered, you know, you can't always predict what she's going to say. Hardly ever. And there was one time that I wondered. And this is when we were coming back from Nashville. We lived in Nashville for 6 years, Jerry and I, and we were bringing home the first grandbaby. So we flew into the Greensboro airport, and Emily was 10 days old. Tiny little thing, the only time she's ever been that way. And so it was a windy early March day, so we had her all wrapped up, you know, even her face covered up with a blanket because you didn't get off in the concourse. You had to get off outside and walk across the pavement to get to the door, get inside the airport. Well, they were waiting for us at that door. And as we got close to the door, they came out of the door, you know, we're standing there, and she was just beaming. I was expecting her to. Here's little Emily, you know, she's never seen her yet. And we go right up to her, you know, and I'm holding Emily, and I start to hold her out. She stands there. She doesn't take her. And I think she's going to say, well, let me see her. She doesn't say, let me see her. What's wrong? You know, and I'm holding Emily, you know, and she said, I'm scared to look. Back, she figured it was all right. She turned out okay.
You didn't like it, you couldn't hide.
That was her first grandchild.
And the first grandbaby, yeah. And now she's got 6, so she didn't do that after that.